and talk to more people until you get more comfortable. Because when people hear for sale by owner resource, they're a little bit more open to listening what you have to say.
Makes sense. Okay, go ahead and try it again.
Okay, at the very start or?
Very beginning.
Okay. Hi, I'm looking to speak with the property owner at 123 Main Street.
That's him?
I was looking online at the property and I was curious to see if you sold that yet.
Are you a buyer?
I'm not a buyer. Let me tell you real quick why I'm calling. My company, Advantage U, is a for sale by owners resource. It's put together by a professional network to help sellers attract the right qualified buyer and not leave any money on the table. Didn't get a chance to ask you, are you listed on the MLS or currently contracted with an agent? It seems like, oh yeah.
Yeah, so you had that lag there. So I think your tone, pace, and hesitation, it's all kind of running together in my ears. So just try to do it with, and emphasize more of where it says the right qualified buyer, or like at different key points have your tone go up. So like, hey, and like when he asks you the question too, just say, hey, that's a great question. It's a subtle thing, but because there's no rapport in the beginning of the call, you don't say, hey, that's a great question, you just roll right into it, and it doesn't build as much rapport. So it's a subtle little thing that can make a big difference. So go ahead and try it from the beginning.
Okay. Hey, I'm looking to speak with the property owner at 123 Main Street.
That's me?
I was looking online at the property and I was just curious to see if you sold that yet.
No, are you a buyer?
No, I'm not a buyer. I had a question. Are you on the MLS or are you contracted with an agent or something?
Are you an agent?
I'm not an agent, but that was a great question. Real quick, my company Advantage U is a for sale by owners resource that's put together by a professional network to help sellers attract the right qualified buyer and not leave any money on the table. It seems like a beautiful property. What?
So that was better. Where that quick breath that you took, just got to transition. So like just no gaps. But that was who heard a difference?
Yeah.
Let's give him a round of applause. So try to get from the top. So.
Hi, I'm looking to speak with the property owner at 123 Main Street.
That's me?
I was looking online at the property and I was just curious to see if you sold it yet.
No, I haven't. Are you a buyer?
I am not a buyer. Real quick, great question. My company Advantage U is a for sale by owner home selling resource.
So let me pause you for a second. Just maybe it's a little note, because this might not be in the script, but it's so important. If we remember the psychology for those, I don't know if he was in on this training when he started yet, but what are they really asking for? What's the key phrase? Let me tell you why I'm calling, right?
Yeah.
He's asking, what is this call about?
Right.
That's what he's really asking. Are you a buyer? Are you an agent? That's what, so remember the psychology, that's what they're really asking. So it's important when he says, are you a buyer, to say, hey, that's a great question. Let me tell you why I am calling. And then you can say, hey, no, I'm not a buyer, but let me tell you why I'm calling. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Name? Are you supposed to pronounce? There's a name, you didn't mention the name.
Advantage U?
No, I mentioned Advantage U, but didn't say Ron or his name.
He might not know his name yet.
So
yeah,
just wait on that?
Yeah, you can, it depends on where you're at. It depends on the flow of the call. Sometimes it makes sense to just pause and get his name. Sometimes in your position, it might not. You know what I'm saying? You just kind of keep going until it's an appropriate time to get the name.
Mm-hmm.
Depends on how quick that knee-jerk comes out and his personality and tone.
Honestly, I usually just ask it at the beginning because they're usually a little bit more open to answering that. Like, oh, great, this is John. Who am I speaking with? Ron.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, Ron. And then go into the MLS question at that point, just because, like, you haven't established that you're not a buyer yet, so they're okay with telling you their name.
Right. That makes sense. So, okay, go ahead.
I want to hear John and Ron go at it again.
We don't go at it. I'm trying to move this along.
We're gonna keep going.
All right.
Go ahead.
Hey, I'm looking to speak with the property owner at 123 Main Street.
That's me?
I was looking online at the property and I was just curious to see if you sold that yet.
No, I haven't. Are you a buyer?
I am not a buyer, but that's a great question. Let me tell you what I'm calling. Real quick, my company Advantage U is a for sale by owners home sellers resource that's put together by a professional network to help sellers attract the right qualified buyer and not leave any money on the table. Never got a chance to ask you, are you on the MLS or are you contracted with an agent I should talk to?
No, I'm not at this point, I'm not paying a commission, are you an agent?
I'm not an agent, but that's a great question. I'm just really curious. I wanted to know, it's a beautiful property. What even consider you selling this?
Because I want to.
All right, no problem. And before I go on,
Can I stop there?
Yeah.
You still haven't built any value to me for this phone call, and then you ask me that loaded question, why am I selling my house? I guess I just, it's gotta make me feel that I need to stay on the phone with you. I wanna continue to listen to you. What is it you have for me? So I don't feel that at all.
I think, your tone is a little monotone, so there's nothing isn't any excitement. That's
Just grabbing their attention.
yeah.
Yeah, you kind of have to go up and down a
Yeah,
little
you have to
bit, because
influx
when
your tone.
when you're reading, you're kind of just like, you know, my company Advantage is a home seller's resource, you know, like it's just, it doesn't catch their attention at all, you gotta like up and down, makes them pay attention more.
okay, let's try it again.
One thing that might help you is the mindset of what you're calling, you know, instead of just the words, but obviously you gotta read them for now. Is that you're that first link in the chain. The gentleman you're talking to is not getting his home sold. Like, you really can't help him by being that first link in the chain that gets him help. That might help your tone, like when you're calling him, like, I'm calling Advantage, you were a home seller's resource. Like, you can be a little bit more excited without being like too much, but
I get too excited if I'm standing up and so I have to sit down. It might help you.
Precious gets your arms.
Right? I am. Right?
Boy, you gotta take out in the hall.
It's the truth.
Yeah.
We get excited and
It's not fair.
Yeah, he's sitting there and all of a sudden John's going.
He's talking on the phone, he looks in my office.
Get out of here. That is true. That's exactly what happens throughout the day.
Sometimes it gets
I
too
miss-
loud.
I miss all the fun. You guys are wide awake and ready to go by the time I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Do you believe in what you're doing?
I don't really understand it.
Okay, it's obvious.
Oh.
Yeah, and you need
Like,
to, because you really need to believe in it and be excited about it, because it's an amazing service that's nowhere. You can't find this anywhere.
I'm excited, I
Okay.
like helping people, I
Okay.
just don't understand the infrastructure yet of what I'm
Okay.
doing. I'm understanding this part
Okay.
about the icebreaker,
Yeah.
but I don't really understand the longevity of the business. I don't understand what happens after it comes after me. I understand a little bit from Precious and what's up, but I don't know exactly what the heart is.
Do you feel that you're trying to help a seller, or do you feel that you're trying to get to the next step, the next person? What's your goal?
My goal is to have at least a meaningful conversation so I can get to know who I'm calling. That way I can actually help them and assist them. I understand that there's a sense of urgency to sell, but
Yeah.
I want to get that rapport so I can.
But do you realize you can only help them so much by getting them to the next person?
Yes.
That's the only thing you can do to help them. And if that's your goal, then you've helped them, because it's up to the next person to really do that, to get them to the agent. Because they're gonna qualify them. So if you're excited about it, right, and you say, okay, I can help this person, they just don't know it yet. You need me, but you don't know it yet, so I'm gonna help you understand why. And if you think of that, keep that mindset, and then just do it, because it's a good thing. Trust me, it's a good thing. Okay?
And one last thing too, once you get past that beautiful property question, like when he doesn't answer it, that's kind of where you keep getting choked up, because there's no verbiage after that point on the paper. And that's the part where you just kind of have to be able to gauge the conversation and keep it going, There's no more words on the paper, but you gotta know what to say next. Like if he's like, I just want to, you gotta be quick and just be like, okay, sorry. Well, I mean, if you did sell the property, do you have another place to go to, or do you need a time frame to,
John, can I say something? I think all that's really good, but none of that matters unless he gets his tone and pace down.
Right.
So he knows what to say, it's just getting it, what is on that paper is good enough, maybe not to get 16, do you get what I'm saying? But it's good enough to like get 8 to 10 on average today. So I just wanna make sure when we're all in this room, because it can be very confusing, you get what I'm saying? Is that we're not throwing too much at this, that we all remember the 80-20 rule, right? So 80% of the result is tone and pace, not just the words on the paper, okay? And so I think if you could just try it one more time without you know, with that focus and not so much trying to change the words.
Okay.
Okay.
Ring, ring.
Hello,
Hi, I'm looking to speak with the property owner at 123 Main Street.
that's me.
I was looking online at the property and I was just curious to see if you sold that yet.
You're a buyer?
I am not a buyer. I'm actually, my company, Advantage U, is a home seller's resource that's put together by a professional network to help sellers attract the right qualified buyer and not leave any money on the table.
Okay, are you an agent?
I am not an agent. Great question, but real quick, it seems like a beautiful property. What even made you consider selling this in the first place?
Because I want to.
Okay, understand that. So ideally, when would you like to get this sold if you had it at the right price?
When I get the right offer.
Okay, so when you get the right offer, no problem. And so, let me tell you this, what made you want to sell this in the first place?
Because I can.
All right, perfect, I understand that. Yeah.
So don't get caught up in his energy, just keep going.
Don't stop.
Just don't stop.
Okay. So you're telling me that if there was the right price to get this sold now, you would definitely want to hear about that, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay, you know what I'm talking about then. So real quick, before I start going off on that, you have a plan where you want to go to after you sell this property?
I'm thinking about it. I don't know yet.
Okay, so you're just thinking about it. Do you have anything in mind where you want to go to?
Maybe.
Okay, perfect. And would you want to just give me a little bit more of that information?
No.
I want to help you out.
So here's where we think that we gotta, like, this is a type A, right? No matter what you say, he's not gonna give you anything. So the key is to understand the psychology of a 4-7 owner. Like, what are his pain points? What is he trying to accomplish? He wants to get the most out of the property, right? In the least amount of time, right? And then his pain point is maybe marketing, right? But just understanding that basic psychology. So if you don't have a lot to go on, what's your tie down on that paper?
Tie it down. If there is a way to get this sold now for the right price, we want to know about that.
So if he says yes, then just go for the transfer.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So every dynamic's a little bit different.
Sorry, I have a
Yeah.
question for you.
Yes,
So,
go ahead. Yep.
let's say I do have that instance where I have someone who's looking to sell, he's motivated,
Yeah.
but he's not telling me any information.
Yes.
I wouldn't want to transfer that to Precious because now I don't have any rapport on why. It's just a recycle on her trying to dig out all that information. So would I still transfer that over?
Good question. So going back to Ron's point, is maybe that's his way of building rapport. So for example, somebody calls me up and peppers me with questions, just doesn't get to the point, maybe he wants to just get to the next step. Maybe that's what he's saying to you, get to the point. Does that?
One thing that helped me too on that was that you go for I'm not doing the transfer, but from you, you go in for the appointment.
Right.
And then if the objection comes out, now I can ask more questions.
That's right.
Right.
So sometimes you just gotta get to that objection or get to that response, and then you can ask some questions. And you can start going through your objection cycle.
Okay.
Does that make more sense or no?
So try to get it over at that point, but then if he doesn't want to do it because he rejects that, well, let me ask you another question.
So do you have it in your mind that you have to have perfect rapport on every call before
Yes.
you do a transfer?
Yes.
Okay. Why?
I just feel like it would run more smoothly, and that was basically what I was hammered on at the office. That we gotta have the information. You have to have these things before you can even think about transferring it.
Okay.
Well, over there, they teach you have to have like 2 to 3 sentences worth of pain and motivation before you can even consider it a PBL. And you have to have an exact time frame of less than 6 months. You know?
Okay, so let's say that for the sake of this conversation, because Ron is really tough, right? So if you can do it with Ron, you can pretty much get anybody, okay? So,
I'm trying to be light. I'm trying to back off.
It doesn't work.
It's not working, Ryan.
Doesn't work for you. Just know what he's gonna get if he's.
Yeah, it's good.
so, no, if he can get this personality,
Yeah.
he can do any of it.
Exactly.
So,
Good.
but one of the things is then say, if that's the case where you feel like you wanna get some sort of time frame or motivation. So basically what you're saying, it's safe to say that when you would, if you got the right offer, you would sell within 3 to 6 months. But when you ask the question, what did he say? As soon as possible. You already had that. Do you get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
He just didn't go a long way. So you already had pain, motivation, and time frame in the 2 sentences that he gave you. So when you do that transfer, you could just simply say, yeah, I was just talking to Ron. He said that he would accept an offer ASAP. He's not worried about having a place to go. He's gonna figure it out when he gets there. But we wanted to see if we could help him attract the right buyer. So I wanted to see if you could talk to him and explain to him how our professional network works, or how our resource works. And then Precious, she's the pro, right? Now it's her job to take that personality, right, and see if she can warm him up a little bit. Does that make sense? All right, cool. Try it again.
Okay.
You okay?
Huh?
You okay?
Yeah.
Keep doing it?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Hey, I'm looking to speak to the property owner at 123 Main Street.
That's me.
I was looking online at the property and I was just curious to see if you sold that yet.
No, I haven't sold it yet. Are you a buyer?
I'm not a buyer. Real quick, my company Advantage You is a for sale by owner's home seller resource that was put together by a professional network to help sellers attract the right qualified buyer and not leave any money on the table. And a quick question, it seems like a really beautiful property. What even considered you to sell this in the first place?
Are you an agent?
I'm not an agent. Are you on the MLS or you're contracted with the agent I should talk to?
No, I'm not. I'm selling it myself. I'm not paying any commissions.
Okay, perfect. So if there's a way to get this sold right now for the right price, you definitely want to get to know about that, right?
Yeah,
Okay, and ideally, when would you want to get that sold? As soon as possible? or-
sure, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, perfect. All right, so what I want to do is actually get my regional director online, my partner Precious. She actually works in your local market. She can help you out and answer any questions you have on that.
Okay, good.
Okay, perfect. Then
Woo!
go-
Hey!
You guys just didn't want to hear me talking.
No. No.
Seriously, that was really good.
First thing, did you notice how your tone changed when you
Yeah.
stood up?
Yeah.
You got louder,
It's good.
that makes a big difference.
And it was ready to transfer, and you did it.
Yeah.
It was good.
We saw when it was time to go for the kill.
Yeah, I thought for sure someone's got an offer somewhere. I want to see where that is. Somebody's gonna help me here.
Good stuff. All right, so let's go do it one more time, but we'll go through the whole process now. All right?
I'm gonna say that.
All right, you got it.
Hey, I'm looking to speak with the property owner at 123 Main Street.
That's me?
I was looking online at the property and I was just curious to see if you sold that yet.
No, I haven't. Are you a buyer?
I'm not a buyer. It's a great question though. Real quick, my company Advantage You is a for sale by owner home sellers resource that's put together by a professional network to help sellers attract the right qualified buyer and not leave any money on the table. And just curious, it seems like a beautiful property. What even considered you to sell this in the first place?
Are you an agent?
I am not an agent. Are you listed on the MLS or are you contracted with the agent I should talk to?
No, I'm not. I'm not paying any commissions.
Okay, perfect. So if there's a way to get that sold right now for the right price, you definitely want to get to know about that, correct?
Yeah, I would. What, you got an offer?
Ideally, when would you want to get that sold if you have a time frame?
Anytime.
Okay, perfect. So what I'd like to do is actually transfer you to my specialist, Precious. She works in your local market. She can answer questions about that.
Okay.
Okay, let me get her connected right now. Let me get her on the phone right now.
Go ahead.
Hello, hey, this is Precious.
Oh, hi Precious.
Hi, Jared, what's going on?
I have Ron on the line. He's
Okay.
looking to sell his home. He wants to sell it as soon as possible.
Okay,
And he's motivated to just sell it and move on with his life.
excellent, thank you so much, I appreciate it. Have a good day, Jared. Hey, Ron, how are you?
Good, and you?
Pretty good, I appreciate you asking that. So listen, I want to start out by saying I'm not an agent. I know you probably are getting bombarded with calls from agents at this point, and it is exactly as Jared said. Our company is Advantage You, and we just use our nationwide network to help attract that right qualified buyer and just really ensure that you're not losing a bunch of money at closing. Can I ask, how are things going as a for sale by owner? Have you received offers or interest? What's going on?
No offers yet.
No offers yet?
No,
Okay.
not yet. Hasn't been that long though.
Has it been, how,
No,
okay. It looks like it's been on the market for a little less than 2 weeks or so? Is
yep, that's true.
that- Okay, so you haven't had any offers, have you had any interest?
Yeah, I've had, one person walk through already.
Okay, was that an agent, a buyer, or a buyer?
That was a buyer.
It was a buyer,
Yeah.
okay. So it sounds like the offer that you did receive was a little lower than what you had anticipated?
No, I didn't get any offers.
So you didn't get any offers, but some interest?
I had a buyer walk through.
A buyer walkthrough? I got you. Is there a time frame on this transition?
Nope.
Okay, when the property sells, you're saying in-state, or where you headed next?
Oh, no.
You know, what that looks like, but you are sure that you want to sell the property?
That is correct.
Okay, gotcha. So if there was a way, Ron, to make the numbers work on this transaction, so that you could sell the property for the most possible money, with little to no hassle, that's a conversation worth having, right?
Maybe.
Well, listen,
I'm
based,
not paying any commissions.
well, Ryan, I'm not talking about paying any commissions. I'm talking about building dialogue with someone who specializes in selling properties in the Henrietta area for the most possible money. Her name is Judy Tolby, and she actually offers a for sale by owner program with a flexible commission option. If you have about 2 to 3 minutes, I'd like to get on the line so that you have an opportunity to just have a conversation with her to see if she can help attract that right qualified buyer and help you get this property sold.
All right, I'll give 5 minutes.
All right, give me 1 moment.
So I want to pause there for a second.
Yes.
I think that was great. It felt a little open-ended, like you were almost asking instead of assuming that he was going to be transferred over. Did you guys hear that or no?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, her voice in general is so assumptive that
Okay.
I guess I miss that because she's so like, I feel like every time she talks, like, you're her child and she's like,
Yeah.
you're doing this.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like her tone in
That
general
is
is
how
that
I
way.
feel.
You know? So I mean, I guess I miss,
Yeah.
you know, that because I feel like her tone already says that.
So maybe something just a little bit different, like, so let's do this, or so what I'm gonna do, what I'm gonna do is, or let's do this, what I'd like to do is actually put you in touch with Judy, and so hold on just 1 second while I get her. Just something doesn't sound like you're slamming them into the transfer, but it's a little bit more, it's more moving forward than just as open-ended, like, hey, do you mind? Like, it almost came across, do you mind?
It came across as, I was saying, do you mind?
Yeah.
Or
You didn't
like
say
making
that.
them to
You didn't say that. It came across like, do you mind? And like how I heard it,
Okay,
it came across, oh, do you mind if I transfer him?
okay,
Or if I get her on the line?
okay.
Do you?
I'm gonna be honest.
That's okay.
I thought that I was being a little bit too forceful. I thought that's what you were saying.
The opposite.
The opposite.
Yeah.
Okay.
Towards that end, it was almost like you let him out a little bit.
Okay.
So.
So use more assumptive language, like, so this is what I'm gonna do. So let's do this.
Let's do this.
So let's do this. Okay.
Just try.
When you were reframing or, you know, talking about my plans,
Yes.
I could feel myself as like, who are you? It was almost like you were scolding me. Like,
Okay.
oh, you have no place to go and you know what you wanna do,
Okay.
you know?
That was awesome.
Okay.
She does it.
You know, it's
Yeah,
like,
it was awesome.
It's like getting yelled at by my mom.
Okay, I got you. Okay.
Well,
So don't do that so
well,
much.
just one comment.
Yes.
The words were great, but
Okay.
just maybe just the tone a little bit, but here's why that's so powerful. It makes them think to themselves, am I really saying that to this person?
Well, that's why I kind of
That's,
reiterated.
yeah,
to say,
you were just repeating and reframing back to him, and the reason why you felt like that way, because that's how you sounded.
right, well, I'm sounding
That's
like,
how you
it's like,
sounded.
I
You
don't
sounded
know
like
what I
you-
wanna do, it's like, I'm not telling you where I'm going,
Yeah.
why are you
Right.
talking to me about where I'm going?
And
You know, if you wanna feel my pain and motivation, make me feel like you really want to help me.
Okay, all right,
You
I got you.
I thought you did great.
Build a little bit more value, more value.
Yes,
I got
yes,
you.
I'm not getting,
Right, let's do it
Like, are
again.
you saying, Ron, let me ask if I'm understanding you, are you saying where she could say, Ron, let me just make sure I'm understanding you properly. Are you saying, like, instead of just saying, are you saying like to kind of cushion it? a little
Jamie,
bit?
let me ask you a question, if I may.
Yeah,
you really don't have a plan of what you're gonna do later? This is something you haven't thought out yet, or is it just something you don't wanna discuss with me?
Okay.
I'd tell you flat out, you don't wanna talk about this? Okay, fine, we don't have to.
See, now that statement as a person would piss me off. No, I don't wanna discuss it with you.
Yeah,
I
fine.
haven't thought about it,
Yeah.
so.
That person.
I mean, if you reiterated it and kind of said exactly what I said, then I probably would.
I haven't felt any empathy, I haven't seen any value yet.
Okay, all right, let's do it again,
All right, you got transferred?
I got transferred.
All right,
So hey, good morning, Ryan, how are you?
doing well.
Good.
How about you?
I'm doing pretty good, I appreciate you asking. So listen, it's exactly as Jared said, our company is Advantage U, and we are a for sale by owners resource center, and we just use our nationwide network to help attract the right qualified buyer, and just really ensure that you're not losing a bunch of money at closing. I want to start out by saying that I'm not a real estate agent. I know you probably at this point are getting bombarded with calls from agents. I also don't represent one specific agent. I'm actually just a trusted advisor. And can I ask, how are things going as a for sale by owner?
Good.
Good, okay. Have you received any offers or interest at this point?
I've got any offers yet? No.
You haven't had any offers, but you have had some interest?
Yeah.
Was it from buyers or just agents only?
Buyers.
From buyers,
Mhm.
okay. So some interest, no offers. Ryan, when the property sells, are you staying in state or where you headed next?
Oh, I'll stay here.
You're gonna stay here? Okay. Did you need help with finding the next property? Because we also, not only could we help you get this property sold for the most possible money, but we could also let you know about the available inventory as well.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know.
Not really sure?
Not yet.
Okay, so listen, it sounds like, you're not really sure on where you're headed next. But at the same time, you do know for sure that you want to sell the property. Am I understanding that right?
Yeah, I've got it available right now.
I got you. So listen, Ron, let me ask you this. If there was a way to make the numbers work on this transaction, so that you could sell the property for the most possible money with little to no hassle, that's a conversation worth having, right?
Maybe, but I'm not paying a commission.
No, listen, I completely hear exactly what you're saying, and I'm not talking about paying commissions. I'm talking about building dialogue with someone who specializes in selling property in your area for the most possible money. And her name is Judy Tolby. She acts as a resource for sale by owners. If you have about 2 to 3 minutes, I'm gonna get her on the line so that you guys can further the conversation.
How much is that gonna cost?
Oh, it's not gonna cost you anything. This is a no obligation consultation. She's gonna give you some good information as a for sale by owner about the market conditions and how she can be of a resource to you. If you give me one moment, Ron, I'm gonna get her on the line, okay?
Okay.
I personally like the end a lot better, how you transition there. And it didn't-
Okay is such a powerful word.
Okay is such a power, okay?
Okay,
Yeah,
reassuring.
yeah.
Can I just make a couple comments about the wording here?
Yes,
If we could get rid of that word bunch of money, a considerable amount would be a better word, 2 words instead of 1.
Yeah.
When
did
you
I say bunch?
bunch.
Yeah, well, the
I know,
problem
I
is
know it's in the
so
script.
there,
I know,
yeah,
and then,
Yeah,
there was a point there too, and you did fabulous. But when you were talking to me about how it's going, you didn't even ask me, what are you doing to market the property? Do you have a plan? Mike, help. You said, are you marketing the property? Do you have a plan on marketing your property? Et cetera, type thing. And then, what is most possible money? I hear that twice. Wouldn't it be the highest possible price?
Yes.
Most possible, is that in the script,
That
most
is in the
possible? Is it really?
Yeah,
Okay,
same thing with a bunch of money at closing.
I know, I saw the bunch. They're just, a better way to say these things.
Mhm.
It just sounds like you really understand it.
So they're not allowed to talk about price? That's why we don't have that there.
So we can just say net, maybe, because I say,
If you can get net what you need to net, or if you can get the most out of this property that you possibly can,
That perfect.
something like that.
Yeah.
okay,
Mhm.
all right. So you take out no bunch and, make sure that I'm asking them about the market. What are they doing to market the property in the event that it's
Yeah,
for sale?
I just think you're gonna come across more of somebody who's, I've been doing this, I know what I'm doing, I can help you.
I think what you're saying, Ron, is that if there was some effective questions that solicited more pain motivation, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, you can say, if you say, are you sure that you're asking you say you can't use the word price, is that what you're saying?
Well, here's the danger. If you could get more for your property than you're asking now, or if you get the price is the price that they need, it could be some astronomical number. So we teach them to stay away from asking about price.
Okay, that makes sense,
So,
that makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah, all right, well, how about this? You've had one showing, are you sure that the prospects are gonna be able to find your property? Are you sure?
Okay.
Something like that, or, are you sure that all the buyers are able to find this property, or know this property is available for sale? What are you doing to ensure that that's happening?
Precious, I'd recommend having those questions in front of you at all
I
times.
think I do have them, but you're right.
I mean, but you gotta read them, you gotta repeat them, and only bring them out when you think you need them.
Yep.
They're there for you, they're your little bullets, and basically, some of them probably won't even apply.
Another,
Go ahead.
another big thing that's been working for Mark and I a lot is like the Zillow statement about like only hitting 20% of the buyers. And like, if you expose it to 100% of the buyers, we've been seeing people get better offers. Are you doing anything else to market the property other than Zillow? And like, that's been working for Mark a lot.
To add to that, this just came to me when you said that, is I wanna be asking that question before I do that. I want their answer to that question,
Mhm.
and then roll into
Like, what do you
Zillow
do
is
to market the
not,
property?
like,
And then as soon as they
basically,
say
I'm
so-
telling them that Zillow's not it. I mean, I know their commercials tell you that they are, but they ain't it. I'm kinda using a lot of words to.
Well, the thing
say
is that
you know?
the market, houses selling in a day, 2 days, it backs up your statement. This seller's been on the market for 2 weeks.
Sure,
They've only had one person through. They
Right.
should have had an offer, it should be done,
Right.
if it's priced right. But
And so like, I think that's.
Yeah, I didn't say anything about the market, excuse me.
Well, that's great. So I think if you jot those things down when you saying them to you, and you keep the for sale by owner dilemma, what's the big D? What's the big dilemma for sale by owner has? Always marketing,
Okay, marketing,
always exposure.
exposure marketing.
Exposure, lack of exposure most likely means lack of offers, most likely means not the best offer for the most money. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's kind of the psychology behind that. So let's get the transfer over to Jamie so we can go. So let's pretend like you're ready to transfer. What was her name? Judy? I guess you're Judy today, Jamie?
You're Judy. You're Judy.
Close enough.
So we'll transfer.
Someone with a J.
Sorry, with Jamie. We'll
All right.
transfer to Jamie.
Hi, Jamie?
Yes.
Hey, Jamie, this is Precious. With us on the line, I have Ron. Ron currently is it for sale by owner. The property's been listed for about 2 weeks or so. He's definitely interested in motivating and selling the property. He has not had any offers, one interested buyer, but no offers. He's not really sure where he's headed to next, but I did explain to him that you specialize in selling property in the Henrietta area for the most possible money. And I definitely know that you guys could build some good dialogue in attracting that right qualified buyer. Ron, are you still with me?
Yep,
All right, excellent. I leave you with Jamie. You're in great hands.
Thanks, Precious. Hi, Ron, how are you?
good, and you, Judy?
It's Jamie, but thank you, I'm doing well. So listen, Ron, I understand you're trying to sell on your own and, you've been on the market for a couple of weeks. Really, what I'd like to do is just stop by for a quick discovery meeting. I'd like to just take a look at your home, just explain to you what I've done for some other people, and see if there's a way that I can help you to accomplish your goal of getting sold.
So obviously, you're an agent.
Yes, I am. I'm with the Dream Team.
I'm not paying any commission.
Yeah, I understand that. That makes sense. Ron, let me just ask you a quick question. If there was a way that I could help you get it sold and get the net that you want, does it really matter how it gets sold?
What do you mean, the net?
Meaning, you probably have in your mind a number that you want to walk away from closing with, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, great. So if I could help you get that number or even better, would it make sense to have a short conversation, right?
Possibly.
Okay, great. So listen, I'm available at 4 o'clock today or 6. Which one of those times works better for you?
I don't know, Jamie. I want to try this a little longer on my own.
Yeah, I understand. You want to try a little longer on your own. Let me ask you, Ron, how much, sorry, I'm getting distracted. How many,
Sorry, Jamie.
that's all right. Sorry. I gotta get good because I might be taking these calls out and about and all that, so that's okay. Let me ask you, Ron, have you had any acceptable offers?
No, I told the lady and the other guy that.
You haven't, okay.
No.
Gotcha. Are you satisfied with that?
Well, it's only been on the market 2 weeks.
Gotcha. And I understand that, Ron. Let me ask you, are you aware of what's going on in the market right now where, you know, there's a lot of buyers and fewer sellers and many people are actually getting offers, you know, within a couple of days, sometimes with multiple offers? Are you aware of that?
Oh, yeah, I heard something about that.
Yeah. So the key here is to get the exposure for you. So if there was a way for me to help you get your property exposed and to attract the right qualified buyer with a few problems, that'd be worth a 5 to 10 minute conversation, right?
Well, I guess, I don't know how you're gonna do that.
Yeah, you know, and honestly, Ron, I'm not sure if I can help you yet. Really, that's the reason I'd like to have just a brief discovery meeting with you to see if there's a way for me to help you accomplish your goals. So again, I'm available at 4 or 6. Which one of those times work better for you?
Well, how about 4?
Okay, all right, great, sounds great. I'll see you at 4 o'clock today, Ron.
Great.
I'm bringing developed stuff.
Good work.
Yeah,
That's,
a little choppy.
yeah, but it was so,
No, it was
I
good.
think it was good enough to definitely to get the appointment.
You know, you could have brought up too, you could have said, well, did you have an opportunity to read last Saturday's real estate section? And, cause I brought that in for him, and I mean, right there is a perfect thing to go right off script, go there and say, did you see it? The Democrat Chronicle did an entire article on how fast houses are selling in this area.
Yeah.
No, I didn't catch that, yeah, I mean, it was right in the paper. That, you got all the credibility in the
Instead of the
world.
market's hot.
Yeah, it's not the world,
Right.
it's just this area.
Especially when you're talking to like people Ron's age that like still read the paper.
He's ruthless.
Kill him, Ron.
Did you see that article?
I don't read the paper.
Yeah. You're uninformed then, aren't you, for a young boy?
I saw it on the website.
Oh, you did?
I saw it on the website.
Tell me what it said. What's the hottest area in this region?
I'm gonna take a stab at it. I didn't read it, but let me take a stab. The hottest area in the, like, are they talking about suburbs?
It's the hottest area.
The whole area.
Oh, the whole, oh, okay.
So which suburb?
Yeah, which suburb, that's what I'm saying.
Not just suburbs.
No?
What's the hottest area in this region?
How are they defining the region? By the,
Okay, what's the hottest area in Monroe County?
okay, so. I'm gonna take a guess at Henrietta.
Really?
Yeah.
Not even close.
Really?
Really?
Pittsburgh?
Nope,
Webster?
nope,
Don't tell me Greece.
nope.
Ontario?
City. Rochester, city of Rochester. There it is.
Exhibit A.
U of R, I didn't read it, the U of R, the colleges and out there by the city are just going
The
crazy.
city one of Greece.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's amazing.
What's happening? I'm sorry.
Webster has the highest
City
percentage of
Rochester was
increase in
named,
property value.
Wow.
Market
Webster
in
does.
Monroe
It's
County.
the new P-town.
His house is
Pittsburgh,
on-
Penfield,
down
Barrington,
in the city by
Baxter.
the U of R.
That's great.
Yeah, it's just, it's a great article, that's why I brought it in for him. I said, you got, this will help you, because you have that kind of clout.
Yeah.
I mean, that information. Now, stuff like that, I put in my listing presentation.
Mhm.
When I'm doing a listing presentation, did you see this? No. You'd be talking to someone like John. No, I don't get the paper. No, this is good for you. Here, look. You don't touch it. It's antique.
Antique.
It was a good comeback. I
Yeah,
don't think
thanks. It was a
so.
good one. Don't let us go back and forth. It's fine.
So let's do some takeaways. What'd you get out of this section? Out of this session, I should say.
I was mostly listening, I mean, for me, because the first time I did it, was his tone. And I could hear the difference in your tone when you stood up, which I was doing myself, I couldn't catch it as much.
Uh-huh.
So I guess I focused on that and, you know, just trying to.
What's your takeaway?
Everything.
If you had to focus on 1 or 2 things today to try to be a little bit better than you were yesterday, what do you think you should focus on today?
Definitely my tone, which I standing up more because that helped out a lot.
Okay.
And now since I've seen it, and I've seen multiple repeats of it, I understand the functionality and how it works.
Mm.
So that answered my question too that
Good.
I had previously.
That's good.
So pretty much everything here
All
helped
right.
me out today.
Awesome. we're just gonna keep doing this each day, and we're all just trying to get better each time. So how about you, Precious?
My takeaway is Ron is pretty hard to role play with. No, just really just kind of sticking to the process for me. In the role play, both times I didn't speak to the market. And if I utilize my script as a template and not just utilizing the words that are there, but utilizing it as a template, I think it would just help my flow a lot better, so.
And what's the number one dilemma a 470 owner has?
Marketing exposure.
Marketing exposure. And when we have lack of exposure, what happens?
Less offers, lower offers.
No offers.
No offers,
Or
sit
no
in the market too long.
No showings, few showings.
And then if you, and so that, if we just keep that in mind with every single person, especially if they've gone a week or two and they haven't sold yet in this kind of market, right? And that's where we plant the seed that they should get a second opinion, or they should talk to an agent because they haven't gotten an offer yet. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And doing it in a tactful way that's not gonna like upset them, right? So, Jamie, how about you? Besides having somebody chirping your ear while you're trying to pitch.
Well, no, that's good, actually. I'm actually glad because as I'm out and I'm not always gonna be sitting here with my notebook, you know what I mean? You're out and about doing stuff,
Yeah.
and so I wanna get trained that way, you know what I mean?
Or John might be like popping his head in the office, talking on the phone like,
You open tomorrow, boy?
That's true, though.
I don't have your
It's
calendar,
like that.
I don't know what to
Remember
do,
that movie,
Jamie.
The Italian Job, where they were like trying to break in the safe and the woman would practice with noise in her ear, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I remember, that's like, that was good, actually. It's through language, again, I'm picking up on, or even what Ron said, you need me, but you just don't know it yet. And I'm just having that posture, you know, when I'm talking to the seller.
That's good.
And the okay,
Yeah.
you know, that kind of thing, so.
I've got another question you might want to think about asking and to get you into the marketing and something like, now, if I may ask, do you have a strategy to attract all buyers who might be interested in your property? And if they say, what do you mean? That door just opened real wide for you to just basically politely say, well, a marketing plan,
Do you have what, a strategy?
a strategy to attract any buyer who might be interested in your property. And they're gonna say, well, I got it on Zillow. Perfect, the door just opened again. Cause it's almost like, how's that working for you?
Yeah.
You've had one showing.
Oh, this is just a side comment that I was listening to. I'm not sure if you could use it or not, but you were saying about how the marketing strategy, if you have someone like my age who just got married or, you know, their generation.
Why did you do that?
Well, I mean, with just like,
Should've waited till you're my age.
let's say, yeah, around like my generation, that people don't really understand like the whole marketing and viral. So if you use something that we're accustomed to, like YouTube, if you say like our platform will get you more viewers, like viral, I think that would like capture their attention and be like, oh, so you're telling me you're gonna put my property in front of a lot of people? So I mean, that's just a theory that I have in my head. You don't have to use it, it just like popped up randomly.
Well, it's an interesting point, because depending on your audience, for me, when I was setting up the appointment, I would change my marketing language a little bit depending on the audience.
Right.
For sure, yeah, depending on the audience, I would talk more about social media or ways to get more, I'd actually use the word, help your property go viral, you know, so, yeah, if you got a millennial or somebody that is more, maybe a little more tech savvy, or yeah, you can kind of sense that over the
Even older people, when it says
Yeah.
viral, they know what that means.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
true.
they gotta be living under a rock, I mean.
Yeah, right, yeah,
You know,
that's true.
it's hard to run into anybody who
That
owns
doesn't-
or
yeah.
doesn't have a computer.
Yeah, yeah.
Doesn't email.
That's a good point.
You know,
I got
so-
listening with one right now.
Mhm.
Well, it happens,
Literally,
yeah.
there's no email.
I know, no
But
email.
I agree with you.
Yeah, but
Very
he's
few.
unique.
Okay, we're out of time. I think this is awesome, guys, and we'll pick it up tomorrow.
It's really cool.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Great stuff, Ron.
Can we review?
Thanks for helping us learn something today.
Thank you, Ron. That was a huge help.
Can the three of us review my listening appointment yesterday, or this calumet? I'd just like to tell you.
Oh, you went, that's right.
Went.
Yeah.
And, Mark, 6, she didn't show. So I had one at 6 that didn't show, I called, I left a voicemail, and I put my card, and we just watched that video. You know, hey, I'm outside, I literally said, hey, I'm outside, I'm on your front porch, you know, you're not answering, I hope everything's okay. You know, we had a 6 o'clock appointment, you know, please give me a call back, and then on the back of my business card, I just wrote her a note along the same lines and put it in her door. Okay, so,
Okay.
whatever you wanna do with that,
Yeah,
okay,
she was impossible the first time, because
Yeah.
the PBL is a month and a half old,
wow.
and it took a month and a half